Well, right now, President Obama and Vice President Biden are in Delaware to stump for the Democrat hoping to fill the vice president's former Senate seat. Here's a live look at the scene in Wilmington, where we expect the president momentarily. Doesn't look too exciting yet. But this very high-profile visit raises one big question. Why stump for Chris Coons when the polls show him with a 20-point lead over his GOP rival, Christine O'Donnell? Jason Lewis is a syndicated radio talk show host and author of Power Divided is Power Checked, The Argument for States' Rights. And Bernard Whitman is a Democratic strategist and former President Bill Clinton pollster. All right, gentlemen. So this had a lot of people scratching their heads saying, okay, you know, very tight race out in California, tight race in Illinois, tight race in Washington. Jason, why not go to those states? Why go to Delaware, where Coons is beating O'Donnell right now by 20 points?
Well, I think the Democrats continue to whistle past the electoral graveyard they're in. They want to sew up Delaware. They want to try to nationalize Christine O'Donnell as the typical GOP candidate. But if you look at the other states, you know, they're going up to Deval Patrick's home state of Massachusetts. That's in play. You've got all these senatorial states in play. Harry Reid, Barbara Boxer, Patty Murray. The Republicans are up in Colorado, Pat Toomey in Pennsylvania, Ron Johnson in Wisconsin. So I think it's the only place they can go and have a good day. Frankly, I'm surprised Joe Biden went with them, because the rumor at the White House is when Biden calls the Oval Office, the president says, "Tell him I'm not here." So, you know, you could have some news there today, Megan.
Well, it's his old seat, so you got to imagine he's going to be able to rally the crowds. But, you know, Bernard, some theorize that, A, perhaps the polls, you know, internally among the Coons camp are tighter than we're seeing. That sometimes that happens. Or B, perhaps the Democratic Party and the White House are looking to give President Obama busy work to keep him out of the states where they don't want him to appear, maybe like Wisconsin, where Russ Feingold has been reluctant to appear with the president.
Megan, not true at all. It makes perfect sense that the president is going to Delaware. I'll tell you why. Because Christine O'Donnell is the gift that keeps on giving, much like Carl Palladino here in New York. And I'll tell you, these two, along with the Sharon Ingalls and the Joe Millers of the world, are the new face of the Republican Party. And if the Republicans are in fact successful next month, Americans are going to wake up to find out that the extremists and the nut jobs have taken over, and they are intent on rolling this country back to the Stone Age. What do I mean? No Social Security, no Medicare, no Federal Reserve, no unemployment benefits, no abortion, even in the cases of rape or incest.
Bernard,
no masturbation.
You sound just like Jimmy Carter. You sound just like Jimmy Carter in the debate with Ronald Reagan, when Reagan simply replied to that silly statement, "Well, there you go again." It isn't working. Engel is neck and neck with Reid, the Senate Majority Leader in Nevada. And when you continue these charges, you attack the American people.
Not true. The Tea Party movement, which has taken over the Republican Party, has absolutely no agenda to move America forward, and they're only intent on dismantling things like the Department of Education and the Department of Veterans Affairs and getting rid of unemployment benefits and Social Security. It's complete madness.
All right, Jason, what about that? Because this is the message that we're hearing more and more from Democrats, and they do believe that perhaps President Obama is in Delaware to try to hold Christine O'Donnell up as the face of the Republican Party. And some of those things Bernard mentions are things that have come from her statements in the past, like, you know, no self-pleasure, let's say. But, you know, is the president, are the Democrats really going to be able to sell that message to the American people that if the Republicans take over the Senate and or the House in November, you're no longer going to be able to pleasure yourself between the sheets, and you're no longer going to be able to have unemployment benefits, and you're not going to be Social Security Administration, and there's not going to be any more teachers, there's not going to be any more, you name it.
On the economic side, and on the economic side, the Democrats just don't get it. Social Security is bankrupt, and every young person I talk to today says, "I'm not going to get it." So for the Democrats to deny there's a problem shows how out of touch they are. The Department of Education, Bernard, Ronald Reagan ran on dismantling the Department of Education and won 2 landslides. I don't think any parent out there would say the federal Department of Education intervening in a local affair has done any good. I will say this about O'Donnell. The Democrats have been successful in moving her off the economic landscape because of those past comments. Problem is, it isn't translating to other races. Rand Paul with his libertarian...
Let me make a point here. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah. Well, Rand Paul, with his libertarian message, which I like, was supposed to have all this baggage, too. But he stayed on economics, and he's up double digits in Kentucky. So it isn't just working. They can try to hold Christine Christine O'Donnell as the poster child, it's not translating.
Well, that's the key, Bernard, because I can understand if that's the president's goal, he wants to go out there and make Christine O'Donnell the face of the Republican Party. But how does he do that? You know, it's not going to be carried live on all these channels. It's not going to be the lead story on the news tonight. It's not going to be, you know, maybe people will mention it, but how does it work in practice when he's standing there in front of a bunch of Delaware voters into making Christine O'Donnell the national face of the GOP?
It's already happened, Megan. Look, the Republicans, there is no way they're going to take the Senate, and we probably will lose the House. But the truth is that the Democrats' message is starting to burn through. The Republicans are intent on giving away tax breaks to the rich, tax breaks to oil companies like BP, and continuing to advantage the rich. The Democrats' message in a new poll came out 5 points ahead of the Republican message. Tax breaks for middle class, tax break for small businesses, getting jobs back again. And I think what we're going to find here is likely after the election, a divided government. The Republicans will almost certainly overreach, just as they did the last time they took control of the House. And frankly, it positions Obama very well for 2012. Not that I want the Democrats to lose control of the House, but I guarantee you when these crackpots get in there, they just won't be able to resist.
Overreach.
Okay,
There's only one party
guys.
that overreached.
I feel like
only one party that
I feel like I just sat on the recipient. I was the recipient of this weird mailing, you know, from like The Economist magazine to Penthouse Forum in this segment. But I appreciate you both coming on with your thoughts on it. Chase and Bernard, all the best to you both.
Thanks, Megan.